well. So we saw some ideas in the previous series in particular, with the Primal Beast for the boys on 1W, and we already see a bit of a different priority heading into this. Cloud9 going for the early Doom, which is now flexed with Kataomi, and then the Wind Ranger as well from Renee. And like we were saying, he's been spamming this in pubs and to a lot of success. So we'll see how different kind of the styles are going to work for the individual teams.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I think these two teams have very different expectations about how this game is going to go. I have the expectation that G2.iG should get off the bat with a really good start to the laning stage. Although you got to be very careful of the bounty rune skirmish, for example. If somehow you get first blood onto a C9 hero, then you're going to be in a much better spot. So it really just comes down to who's going to scout out who. I don't think maybe they did see the Eidolon moving past, so giving away a little bit of their positioning right now. A little bit of extra gold as well, nothing to say. We'll say thank you very much to that. But I really don't know how no one's going to be able to make this mid lane work. Like, he's going to need to mischief behind tower and drag creep waves, because he is just going to get ho-ho-ha-hard, he's going to get peeped, he's going to get all sorts of harassment coming his way. And it's not like they even have the greatest supports to be able to help him out in that regard.
How about, besides the lane which you are expecting to be very difficult here for no one, what about the potential for him to make rotations? Because we have seen this mid-Monkey King for a little bit now with the Simeon Stride be very, very difficult for teams to deal with how fast you can be across the map. Is this something he can use to his advantage to maybe, if he can't really get much mid lane, potentially offset some of the side lanes?
Possibly, but you got to be very mindful of where you're looking to make a lot of these rotations happen. I would be very reluctant to, go bouncing around in the tree against a Timbersaw and a Bat Rider lane, because you're just going to get that tree chopped down and you're going to be dead meat. So, A, you need to have some net worth to be able to make those rotations be effective, and B, you need to be very mindful of your own life. So if he is going to make rotations, I'm expecting them to be down towards the bottom side of the map, where it does feel a little bit more killable going up against X-Nova and Monet.
See as well, we have not really gotten a lot of teams that will attempt to flex the Doom. So we were speaking about the Facet. Kataomi has gone for the Gluttony. And we'll see overall what the item build is for him. What are you kind of hoping out of the position for Doom? Is it just going to be purely auras, although you have an enigma for that? Can they both go auras, one goes one route, the other goes the other, and then that means they can go into maybe some more greedy items earlier? What are we hoping from these two heroes in particular?
I think you could still go into it's not necessarily an aura, but it can eventually be one. The Veil on the 4 Doom feels fine in my eyes, and you still leave the enigma to go down a bit more of your fruits of bearing, your drums, your pipe, all that sort of stuff. But later on, it really depends if they're envisioning the game extending for longer, because I think you could get away with a Midas potentially this game on Kataomi. We've seen so many games where he just has a crazy amount of net worth.
Bottom lane, X-Nova is getting possession of the tower. He's going to be okay. I'll quickly talk about top. Fishman actually almost going down. Looks like that will be the case. Baboka able to find first blood. That's a solo kill here for the Bat Rider. JT was nowhere to be seen, so very nicely done.
This is what we were expecting though, right? What do they have to be able to stop this from happening? It's basically just Glimpse, and I think it was used at the time, so no real danger of just going deep underneath the tower. Again, as long as there's a creep wave there, you're not really right-clicking all that much. You can use Flame Break, you can use Napalm, you can use Firefly, you can use all of Timbersaw's abilities without right-clicking him a single time, and he's just going to have a horrible time in this lane.
I did want to speak about top and then go to mid, because I saw no one was actually having a pretty good time, but then that solo kill was there for nothing to say, and now it seems like it might be very difficult for no one to play. You got the double Wraithband, triple Wraithband now coming out with the extra levels in the Shrapnel, so no one started well, but we'll see how that giving up the solo killers, if it's going to make the lane even more difficult.
He's looking to try and do his best, but again, you walk up, you get right-clicked a few times. What are you supposed to do against this? I wouldn't even hate seeing him put a single point in the take aim just to be able to use that active, get that little bit of extra attack range in. Just keep bullying him away. Make that rotation from the Monkey King just feel so much less impactful.
I'm seeing bottom lane start to be a little bit chaotic. Nova's going to be the initial target. Tries to turn with the Stormhammer. It's like, is that enough though? Katsuomi should be able to chase him down. Another round of the Chain Lightning. Better abilities to be able to find with the Devour. Number 1-8 as well will be forced to win runaway. So we are really seeing this bottom lane be quite oppressive for them.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, they're even doing a great job of denying all these creeps underneath the tower as well. That's a lot of experience. That's a lot of gold just going away from G2.iG. They might even have caught Monet inside of the Eidolon.
Can they get in front? Oh, they got in front. Well done. Is it enough though? Monet should go down almost to the neutrals, but not enough in the end. Really well done. DM is able to just get in front with the Eidolons, like you were saying, and this is a great start for them down bottom.
Yeah, for sure. I'm actually a little surprised at how farmed Watson is up on this top side. He's gotten plenty of last hits. Yeah, you're not really all that concerned about the Timbersaw in terms of the damage that he's able to output for you, but again, there's a reason he's number 4 in the... I don't want to say the world. I think I saw Skem hit like 15k playing purely support, which is nuts. Not here at TI, unfortunately.
Unfortunately not, but yes, that is crazy. He's always been a very gifted player. Fishman rotating down to bottom. They are really trying to shut down the safe lane, and it's like they should be able to do so. No one forced to jump over the trees, but Boka's going to come down as well and assist with G2.iG. So it does look like actually no kill will be successful.
And importantly, no one didn't TP for that, so nothing to say can't look to commit super deep to pushing in this mid-tier 1 tower, because it's just so quick with that mid stride to be able to just get straight on back to the lane. I guess that's no one's mentality, right? Look, if I can't farm the wave, I may as well be doing something.
Well, he's in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay.
Glimpse. Got him.
They got him range. They're going to be able to bring it down, though. The TP will come out. Boundless, unfortunately, still on cooldown, and no one will respect that. Wanting to overstep the boundary. The top lane, Watson also getting pressured a little bit under the tower, but JT doesn't have the greatest mana.
He's got a pretty full stick as well on Watson to be able to protect himself. How are these power runes looking to go? Bobica looking to try and protect the top one, but it's actually a amp damage coming through. Very happy to get that. Should be able to secure a bunch of last hits with Hold on. Looks like he could maybe go on to Bobica, but not going to be the case.
Excellent.
Farming DD here for no one. Might
Going
to go top, yeah.
The C9 though. Tower nearly gone down. Nearly 2 full waves denied to it. Omi and DM really synergizing quite well.
How much of a concern is that for this current Wind Ranger carry that we're seeing in the meta? Do you really need your lane to go well?
I don't necessarily know if you need it to go well, but you need to like keep the areas of the map that are available to you intact for as long as possible, right? Because you're not the greatest farmer early on. You know, you need to be able to feel safe to power shot a bunch of creeps, or you know, even just use the power shot to keep your tower alive by, you know, nuking those lane creeps away from you. You need to get into that maelstrom. That's your real farm accelerant. But with
opportunity mid lane, Ishman, they're going to be able to get the glimpse back and look at the rotation. Watson actually TPs into the lane. The damage they were missing prior, that's not going to be the case with the Lina rotating, and really nicely done from them. We saw how aggressive the sniper was playing, you know, poking down no one, but once he stepped a little bit too far forward, yeah, there's the respect. I mean, that was all Fishman there with the glimpse.
For sure. I mean, he's playing very well. Again, just playing around that observer ward. Just caught a glimpse of him there. No pun intended. Pulling him back underneath that tier 1 tower. Although, you see what happens, though, when that sort of rotation does happen. You know, Watson, he just has to go into the jungle. They've got a nice deep observer ward placed down by Bobica as well when he was roaming around as that Bat Rider. So they know that Watson's not really coming back to this lane, and they know he TP'd to be able to make that sort of thing happen. That's why they're committing so heavily on G2.iG, and I think I just see a ping as well from Nothing to Say saying, hey, why don't we just kill Fishman?
They should be able to get another kill onto Monet. You got the Monkey King nearby. Boundless Strike's going to enable DM to close the distance. The Black Hole will not be required. Yes, there'll be an assassinate for Nothing to Say. So Snipes Kataomi now looks to go to top as well. Fishman's not going to be able to juke through the trees. Will be a little bit of a nuisance there with the glimpse away, but it's not going to matter in the end. Or maybe it will actually, because with a glimpse into the black hole bottom lane, I mean, Fishman is making him work for the kill, and the glimpse actually sets up for another big one. Looks for the deny. No way. Fishman, are you serious? No way. I mean, the outplay from Fishman, a disruptor, a hero you don't really see too often to make outplays like that. That is some really cool stuff from the 5.
For sure. I mean, that's the sort of thing that a disruptor is able to do. It's one of those pos 5s that you can legitimately carry the game as in, you know, just a single glimpse can suddenly turn a team fight. You know, Blink, Ag, Static Storm can lock an entire team in place and just turn everything into your favor. And he's kind of styling on them at the moment.
Yeah. Very impressive. Levels is going to be the really important thing for Fishman. Unfortunately, level 4 at the moment, so we'll see if he's going to be able to keep up. But really opening up the map is going to enable this Monkey King to play pretty active, and you do have some heroes that are very position-based here with the Wind Ranger along with the Sniper, so maybe they can look to try and feast on these squishy heroes.
Maybe, but I think for now, Monet, like, he just needs to be very conservative, right? Like, he needs to push himself back inside the jungle. This is probably the safest place that he could be right now. And this is that period of time that I was talking about for Bobika to really put in work. You know, he needs to be the one making a lot of these predictions around the map. He needs to be the one putting his body out there to be able to say, hey, kill me instead of my carry. Because he's probably got the best escape potential. But even then, like, again, you're up against a disruptor. You just need to get Thunderstruck and pretty much dead.
With the game slowing down a little bit, JT is going to be able to farm a couple of stacks over at the triangle. Make himself towards the Kaya. And everyone else may be starting to hang around the mid lane. Will be a regen rune, so nothing too crazy. Big active room for no one to be able to make moves across the map.
Kataomi's got his Doom available as well. So that's going to feel very nice for him. Just softening up a neutral camp right now for no one. Well, he's keeping up somewhat in net worth. I really thought that this, like, it's a 700 net worth lead for the Sniper versus the Monkey King, right? But 10 minutes in, I thought it could honestly be much worse. I was thinking of a crushing when I saw this lane initially.
I feel like the next couple of minutes are probably going to tell whether he'll have a pretty solid game or just be like a mediocre performance on the Monkey. We'll see how... He's only got 2 points up with the Primal Spring, so if he's able to keep up in farm, and again, if they want to continue to up the pace, I mean, you got Pipe. I guess it's actually still a fair bit away considering how expensive the Ring of Trask and the recipe is, so seems like you're okay. I mean, Watson's been uncontested so far here with the Lina, but your Radiant don't particularly want to up the tempo too, because Baboka Batrider, we've seen in the past, this hero can be quite greedy. They might be able to get a kill into Fishman though. Disrupt the steps a little bit too far forward.
Oh, that's
gonna look
so
for the Static Storm TP.
Good.
Okay.
Oh, now you see why I like Fishman. He just does these little things. I mean, he's doing what I feel Bobika should be doing, right? He's putting himself out there. He's slowly delaying things. He's making them go for him instead of farming. He's forcing them to use, like, a bunch of mana for himself, and he's still getting away. And I don't even mind him using that Static Storm, right? Because Watson doesn't even have boots at this stage. Like, he just wants to farm. Same sort of thing with Kataomi. He's happy to just sit back and let Devour do the work. He's going to get into that Blink Dagger soon-ish. Maybe they're looking to rotate now that... I thought no one might have the Maelstrom, but hasn't picked it up quite yet. I'm not sure how effective this move is actually going to be.
For a 5 by the Power Rune. X-Nova, unfortunately, just going to be the only person they'll run into. Stunned to 2, and it'll be okay. So they'll split away, and no one does pick up the Invis, but again, not really much they're going to be able to do with that. They are still clumping around the mid lane, so really wanting to try and force an issue.
Is he, like, can you not see him at all?
I can't see him. No, I can't see him. Yeah, okay, no one pops out. We're going to run to X-Nova. Again, is this the person you really want to doom? Going to be able to get the glimpse back. Nothing to say on the low ground. Is a little bit hesitant about putting himself in a position where maybe they can turn to him afterwards. So a kill will go the way to Cloud9, and now probably the tower as well. We've got the Eidolons maxed out along with the drums. This will be hard to defend if you're G2.iG.
I don't think they're going to have the luxury of being able to do it, right? Like, Bobika can't do it on his own. He needs someone to be able to back him up, and you're not quite yet at the stage where Nothing to Say is going to be able to dish out enough damage as well. Like, maybe if Monet had his Maelstrom, they would consider defending that tower with the whirlwind facet, but he just doesn't have that damage output at this stage. And well, for JT, they're feeling like he needs to get into a little bit of that, I guess, protection of his own. Going into the Pipe of Insight, it's going to provide a whole lot up against all these Maelstroms, against the magic damage coming through from the Enigma, the Doom, everyone.
You really want to go with the smoke though. Nothing to say next over. A little bit hesitant. But the path they want to take, nothing to say is going to pop out now. So this is, yeah, we really are seeing though, Radiant don't have the ability to make plays across the map. That's probably going to change pretty shortly with the blink on Baboka, but it's really been only Cloud9 that have dictated the pace so far in this game, and that'll continue to be the case. They're starting to bring their heroes down to bottom, setting up a formation. Another smoke from them, looking to play in front of Watson.
Again, though, I think Cloud9 are very happy to take this game slow. You know, you're playing with a Doom. You don't have that Blink Dagger yet. You're playing with an Enigma and a Disruptor. You can just upgrade so heavily.
The glimpse back, they'll get it. They will respond this time, though. The sniper out of position. He doesn't have a lot of health to be able to survive through the damage. Monet's going to look for the turn, but it's not going to matter. With the Focus Fire activated, he is out because he has to be cautious about the glimpse. It's still on cooldown for a while. If he stuck around any longer, maybe there was an opportunity. We are really seeing the difficulty from G2.iG. Just the rebuttal from them inside the team fight seemed non-existent. The response isn't there as well. Baboka was so close to blink, but everyone else wanted to fight. Just not at the on the same page, or not even in a position to be able to take these 5 fights. And Cloud9, they know that. They are getting whatever they want out of the map.
I feel like things might change. You know, you've got the sniper coming back online. He's selling a few of his items, but it's that Blink Dagger on Baboka that they're looking to play around with, especially considering it's nighttime. So the vision will be a little bit less. You can go for a smoke with the rest of the team. You can maybe find one of these quick pickoffs, but you can't be... Yeah, he's making sure to stand outside of that creep range. Didn't want that Blink Dagger to be revealed. It's about that surprise factor. DM's not the worst one to be able to get if they were to move right, but it looks like they want JT to join in, considering they are relatively lacking in damage right now, and well, no one, he's not going to stick around in that lane. He just jumps down, uses the Primal Spring to shove it out, and then goes back to safety.
Yeah, look at the wave before they smoked, though. Like, mid was across the river, top we just saw where it was, kind of the remnants of the tier 1, bottom shoved in. Like, the lanes were not in a good position for G2.iG to smoke. They still tried nonetheless, and it's given time for Cloud9 to be able to rack. This is a Gleipnir online for Watson, so if it's a fight around a tower, he could definitely look to get involved. In fact, they're just going to force it inside the river.
They saw that smoke, though. The Observer Ward placed down by X-Nova is going to at least provide them the way to be able to back off just in time. Baboka's still... he's not going to have a choice. I was about to say he doesn't want to reveal that Blink Dagger, but he's forced to go into that creep wave, so they might be mindful of that. Just not wanting to put themselves in a position to get caught out, but a bit of a pincer move even potentially happening here. Catch out, nothing to say once more. Looks like he'll be able to just get away.
Which X-Nova will not be able to split to the west fast enough. So this is probably a kill, I imagine, into Roche. It looks like Watson did come through the portal. He's actually going to go back through the portal. Sees an opportunity maybe for Monate farming in the wave. Able to catch him in time. Watson tries to step in range for the LSA, which is maxed out. And with a rin run on cooldown, Monate is potentially blown up, trying to turn and do as much damage as he can, but it's not going to matter in the end. Watson, he showcases that he has far too much damage for the Wind Ranger at this stage.
Nearly 2,500 more at this point. You know, this is the power of having a good lane. This is why I was so impressed with the amount of farm Watson was able to get out of that lane. I feel like 0 deaths is not what G2.iG were envisaging, and they went for this lane setup for themselves. I think it was just the 1 kill on Fishman as well in the lane. So in my eyes, that is nowhere near enough benefit that you were able to get out of this. So how can they change it around? I mean, what can they even look to play around with? I still haven't seen a lasso, you know, and one was due to Fishman using a very clever static storm on himself. One was they were able to dodge out that smoke previously because of what you were saying with that the lanes being set up in a way that made it a little bit too obvious. Monet, he's got the Maelstrom now. I kind of feel like you're forced to move with the rest of the team. You know, focus fires up in 5 seconds. Maybe you can get a quick kill somewhere, but Overkurt feels kind of like he's not doing that much this game. You know, he's not cutting lanes, he's not finding pickoffs, he's not making too many stacks. 1-0 and 0 is an okay stat line, but you just see what the win probability is, right? It's only 11%, and it's because Cloud9 are doing whatever they want, it feels.
Yeah.
You get no one here. He stays on the lane.
They're setting up top for JT. Katomi's going to be able to blink forward and is ready with the Doom because they're also coming over from the south and the north. One Sun's actually still on cooldown. Oh. Okay, so is able to escape, puts the Doom on cooldown, which could be something. I mean, it's a 6,000 deficit, but yeah, let's see what you can do now once the Timber gets back out of the map, and maybe it's just time. Maybe that's actually just what it could be for them.
Yeah, I could certainly see that. Again, though, they need to fix these lanes. And mid lane, DM's doing a great job of just keeping it shoved in. Someone's going to need to address this. JT right now has probably the biggest amount of burst damage available, so he's going to say thank you very much for the net worth, but what do you do now? Like, do you group up together? Is this a little bit too obvious? I kind of feel like it is. Just have a look at some of the vision placed down by C9 as well. Very defensive, so they should be able to scout out any sort of movements quite easily. Even just Katoma with his positioning, going to be standing in front of his core in the tree line, making sure that if anyone does reveal, he's got that blink dagger to be able to just hack away.
They're going to be too slow by the looks of it. Rush will go down. They're going to be here to potentially contest as Katsuomi. First point of contact, and now with the jump in, Baboka a little bit too late. Watson gets the Aegis. Do you still want to try and take the fight? Nothing to say, he's got the vision. Starting to pummel into Watson, who's stuck inside with the Roche Pit. Tries to turn with the protection. Watson getting enough damage out to deal with the Wind Ranger, but now it's not enough in the end. With the buyback out of Katomi, they've jumped onto the sniper. They've still got to be cautious though. DM with the solo black hole over the right side. Watson's need to be able to get the damage required to kill off JT, but it means they're not dealing with nothing to say. Finally, they can turn. Once they killed the Timber, it meant that no one was there to protect the sniper, and in the end, it's going to be a 5-man wipe. Cloud9, it's been a great start for them in this game 1, and that will continue to be the case. They'll lose the Aegis, but it doesn't matter. A 5-man wipe for the boys on Dire.
And a pretty easy 5-man wipe as well. Again, it's Bobaka just coming up a little bit short in a bunch of these engagements, right? He blinks in, tries to go for the Aegis snatch, tries to get a big lasso play away. Katomi, he's very happy to give his life up for the cause, you know, pops the smoke, gives a ton of information, has to use the buyback to be able to get back into things, but I don't think he really cares all that much. They got so much out of that engagement, and just straight back to farming, playing around those ultimates once again.
How is this going to get any easier when you're taking team fights into a lineup that is Doom, Static Storm, Wukong's Black Hole, and this lead is continuing to grow. You're already getting 5-man wipes. We see them able to deal with the Timber easily. You see they can also have other heroes and just run it, nothing to say. Like, yeah, you kill no one, but that is a sacrifice worthwhile. And now once we shortly go back to live, we're going to see Cloud9. They are beating down some of these objectives, and still you've got an ultimate on cooldown being the Black Hole, and it doesn't matter for them.
No, it doesn't. And you know, even using the offensive glyph, wanting to make the most out of having that siege creep along with them. So if that's a tier 2 tower cleared out for the map, it's very, very nice for them to be able to just have the freedom to be able to now even, you know, play around mid tier 2 tower, take away the outpost, take away a big portion of the map that G2.iG still need to be able to catch up with. And you mentioned like what's going to happen in these future team fights. I mentioned in the draft, like team fights, if G2.iG are trying to take those, they're going to lose this game. They need to be playing for pickoffs, not team fights. And that's why, you know, the fact that these smokes haven't worked out for them is such a big deal. Not only are they not getting the net worth, there's another kill pickoff here onto JT on the top side. Not only are they not being able to get these kills, they don't have the freedom to play around the map because they're just so scared of playing together and walking into another one of these like black holes or static storms. This does feel like the recipe, right? You've taken a tier 2 tower, just walk down a bunch of different lanes, place down deeper and deeper observer wards to enable yourselves to do this.
See, you're going to cut mid to go for another objective if you really want to. Maybe they'll play this one a bit slower. This Hurricane Pike now completed for Watson, almost level 20, so skyrocketing net worth along with levels. They have gotten a lasso onto it, a pretty valuable target. DM stuck around for far too long in an area where the Radiant, they can still control this given the right case, and that is not a bad kill at all. Consider, I mean, Demon's second in net worth, so first lasso of the game, I believe, and let's see, maybe they can get a tier 1 tower now, or maybe not.
Yeah, he stuck around for far too long. Normally, I'm a big DM fan, but not sure what man was doing there. I mean, they only have 2 wards out, 3, I guess, on the map, but with so few people on G2.iG being revealed and that lasso still being available, it was just far too deep. So they'll get a tower, they'll open up the map a little bit for themselves. At least this means that they can feel free to play a bit more on the top side of the map, because bottom side feels kind of like a wasteland right now. You know, there's no tier 2 tower to be able to play with. There's no vision that they've got outside of one, I guess just one observer ward to be able to play around with, but it doesn't exactly provide them the most.
I see done from no one. Was able to pop the smoke. Scouts out that movement from the Sven along with the Wind Ranger. And that will give them time, at least information, to be able to find the Tormentor as well. I believe Shard, who did that go to? Went to Kataomi.
Even just like Bobica's farming patterns right now, he's taken a lot of the jungle, and I feel like the cores are still far enough behind that they desperately need that for themselves. He's looking to build into an Ags, and it's going to help. I think it's like semi-team fight, I guess you could say, considering you're lasso included instead of one, but it's going to be a long time until he gets there. Yeah, he switched off for an overlane, which I'm totally on board with. Like, he just needs to be playing as deep as possible. Stay away from the Disruptor, basically, is the name of the game for him, because that's the main person that's going to be able to catch you out without expending too much in the form of cooldowns.
Might be time to go again for Cloud9. So bearing online. They're starting to huddle together. They've got some pretty decent wards. Saw the cliff ward by the secret shop. You got a very deep one down to the south of the map. And maybe we'll scout them, a farming rotation, but let's see where they look to try and go with the smoke from them.
Sure, DM is saying, get back here, give me the smoke. What are you doing? There we go. Gets the smoke kiss from Kataomi. Who are they going to walk into here? It's Bobica. That's the person that you do want to get caught out. He's got the greatest potential to potentially escape, but he's only going to be up in 45 seconds. It's not the worst death. Could have possibly shut out that lane a little bit quicker, but at least it means your cores are still able to get some semblance of farm.
They're hunting some of those cores though, Kataomi. A wrong guess on the blink. Nothing to say he's actually going to think about turning. To be a pretty valuable kill as Monade's going to try and charge in the middle, but the Static Storm gives an opportunity for the Doom to be laid down, and now no one with the counter. Lands the Wukongs. He's in some danger, but once the boys show up, Watson goes uncontested again with the Lina showcasing her raw damage output, and nothing to say. He'll be chased down to the ends of the earth. Or did they even get a glimpse of him? Ducks into the trees of the TPR. He'll actually be okay.
Will. It means that they don't lose their tier 2 tower up on the top side. Watson was just peppering it with right clicks at that stage, but with those boots of travel, he can just join in onto any sort of team fight that they're wanting. Another one of the advantages of being able to play around not just a bunch of creep waves that are pushing in quite heavily, but you've got those Eidolons to be able to use as well.
The one is underneath the observer ward, so yeah, it's going to give Provoker an opportunity to be able to jump on forward, but the BKB is still available. No one wants to turn with nothing to say up on the high ground as the sniper really got the damage output. No one wants to jump over the top, gets close to the sniper, making it very difficult for nothing to say to feel free to right click, and Monade's not going to enter. Let's see what the Wind Ranger is able to output. Locks onto the Lina, but it's not going to be enough in the end. They will pay some respect with the BKB expiring, almost able to get the glimpse back.
That was nowhere near enough, and it was all because of the Crimson Guard, right? DM just pops it, and that Wind Ranger just feels so ineffective with all those shots going everywhere, the arrows flying around. They tickle at that stage.
A gift from the temple.
They're doing. It's not really going to change anytime soon. I mean, Monade is recognizing the lack of damage there with the Daedalus queued up. But that is quite a way away for him to be able to get to that stage.
Mm-hmm. It was the right idea. They just needed more people
he-
there.
Oh my god.
What's he done?
Okay. Double Bracer, Solar Crest, Gossamer Cape. He's got 2200 health apparently on the Disruptor. So, quite tanky. It's a cool build.
Yeah, I mean, the Gossamer Cape feels nice against the Wind Ranger, right? You know you're only going to get hit maybe like a few... Not halving the damage, probably like 5 quarter.
So Don Forstuff's going to be able to get the Doom target out of threat. Looks like no one's going to try and make the attempt onto X-Nova. We should be okay unless Watson's going to be able to step in range. It's pretty deep inside Radiant's territory, but apparently it doesn't matter. Baboka now offers an opportunity here with the lasso, but
Where's the
he's
damage?
like, team? Anyone? No one's there. No one was actually there to try and use the lasso. JT, his teleport scroll was on cooldown. Monate had one available, but he didn't want to go back.
Feels like very, very disconnected team right now here from G2.iG. I think that was one of the issues that Bobak has had on previous teams, is that he can be a little silent in a lot of their games, right? Like, they need him to be able to speak up. They need him to say when something is available, and it felt like, you know, he was assuming that his team was behind, and you know what they say about assuming.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Over to Roche they go. This time it will be at least a Roche without a contest afterwards. So Aegis into the banner and a potential higher ground siege soon, which I suppose still is something that, you know, we need to, I would say Cloud9 need to be a little bit more cautious on, with the ability for them to position themselves and, you know, maybe find a lasso into
JT.
blowing someone up. But JT inside the river, make it to the high ground. They are wrapping on all angles. I think they got a glimpse. I don't know who pinged, but is that?
A rough idea of where he was, and I'm sure that the rooster crying out, saying it was daytime, was like, oh, God, gotta get out of here. They could probably see me at this point, but still able to get away with his life. Still Watson, though. He is having an absolute banger. Didn't want to be shown up by Duraccio with a carry performance. Not quite at that stage yet, but, you know, certainly starting off incredibly well. 8-0 and 4, no deaths. Really building into the Monkey King bar as well.
Pops out of the invis, says hello to X-Nova. And another kill for them onto the Sven. 8 deaths. And a gold-like yoink from Watson.
You are a true friend.
Yeah, I just don't see X-Nova when I see Sven, you know? Like, it just doesn't fit his style. I want to see those big team fighters. I want to see the Phoenix. I want to see the Bane. I want to see the Disruptor even from him. Ivan.
Should not giving that role this game, and see they are struggling. Maybe not necessarily too much as a result of that, but just overall, so having a lot of difficulty for G2.iG. This T2 tower is going to go down. Looks like top lane is going to be the choice for them. The knock on the high ground. Are they going to start? Lasso's going to be popped. Counter nation's going to be there in regards to the Doom, but keep in mind, Watson has got the Aegis. They're not even going to kill him. Watson gets out. No one gets out as well. Like, if you can't kill them then, when are you going to be able to get someone?
Yeah. I mean, I suppose they didn't have JT there. They forced his TP back, but he wasn't actually there for that engagement. So you've still got the Timbersaws damage yet to come, but I see no BKB yet for Watson as well, right? So if it does extend out, not only do you have this late game Enigma, late game Doom, late game Disruptor, very, very strong, you've also got a 9-second BKB, probably at about like the 37 or so minute mark for Watson that you're going to have to deal with. It's pretty scary considering he nullifies almost everything that the Timbersaw is able to do.
Some Monade out of the base, and you see instantly Katsumi with the Shadow Blade looking to try and see if there's an opportunity. Maybe they want this Tormentor, but okay, nice entry. Katsumi still able to get the leap over the top. It will be a response. A lot of damage onto the Doom. Sven's not going to be able to live for a potential further fight. I don't want to give away the Tormentor though. G2.iG starting to come out of the base. No one is not with the team as well currently.
I wonder if they're just a little mindful of the Sven having the buyback. That might be the discussion saying, has he died enough? You know, 9 deaths. Does he have enough money to be able to buy back? But any sort of time that you're looking to try and get a 5v4 situation, or there's the risk of that happening, probably best to just back off.
Focus solo smoke as well. Just looking to try and combine with, but they're wasting a little bit of time. Water duration now gone. Having to shove out mid and then look for a play, but see Cloud9 is starting to get back to their half of the map.
I mean, they got to find
It's
DM
slow.
before he's able to pop everything. That's the main target. To be able to claim anything. Stuck inside the smoke, just farming jungle camps. It's making time, I suppose, for Monet to be able to get closer and closer towards the Aegis. He should have level 20 at that time as well, so some more reduced damage reduction, I guess is the best way to put it, from the focus fire. Already having such a difficult time going up against that Crimson Guard. Do they have any offensive dispels yet? They do.
On who? Cloud9?
Yeah, no, on G2.iG.
They have the nullifier. Oh, sorry, okay, sorry.
They need something that's going to go through that Crimson. The damage is just nowhere.
1-8 is kind of close to 700 gold away from Daedalus. It's still going to take a little bit of time. 30 seconds left on the Aegis. You see, can be a little bit risky. You're maybe trying to dangle someone's life and get these squishy heroes to reveal themselves. They're going to go for the lasso once again, but if you group up, DM's Black Hole is going to be ready. Still Watson Aegis for another 15 seconds. There's the Black Hole. DM hit finds 3. With the Wukong's combination, it's just perfect. You're going to be relying on the buybacks, and they'll use all of them that they've got to try and turn the tides. Watson's Aegis out in 5 seconds, but they'll get him down to the low ground. Regen's going to be there, and they can go back in. What a Black Hole from DM. And they're not done. They get a glimpse of Nate stepping a little bit too far forward. He used the BKB, so use the buyback prior. He's got the BKB at least now, but there's nothing left in the tank. No damage at all. This is Cloud9's home now.
They're just, man, no one's just going in. No fear in the world. Using that nullifier to be able to pick up the sniper. No buyback.
GG.
No G2.iG.
What a performance.
They played into their hands perfectly, right? They didn't crush mid lane as hard as I thought they would. They didn't go anywhere near as much in the off lane, getting kills onto those two relatively squishy ranged heroes. And yeah, big smiles on no one in particular as he takes a sip of that morning coffee. It's still gamer hours, midday or so up in Copenhagen.